name's Sarah Holt. I'm an occupational therapist. We're at London Road Community Hospital in Derby. The hospital is part of the Acute Trust, but based at the community hospital. I work in an outpatient area. We predominantly treat musculoskeletal patients, although we do see some neurological patients as well. We are looking primarily at getting people back to work, so that we treat people anything up to the age of 100, in which case obviously we're not intended for them to be back at work, and with those patients we're looking more at activities of daily living, their ability to function at a level that they perceive as good quality of life, really. Imagine that the clinical challenges in some way are similar to everybody else. Time is a big one, money, resources. One of the things that we're always looking to try and achieve is our cost improvement plan. That can be very difficult to achieve when really our only outgoings are based on staff costs, and we are not in a position to reduce staff costs because the capacity to then treat the amount of patients that we're expected to treat is too high. So we're always trying to be creative about how we achieve cost improvement, and one of the things that we wanted to consider was income generation. So on the promise of income generating on the back of the purchase, we wanted to explore how we could work with local industry. We initially approached Rolls-Royce as a huge employer in our local area to see if we would be in a position to do workplace assessments simply for the patients that we were seeing in an NHS capacity. It was always considered that they were a closed door, that they had their own in-house occupational health services, or that those that they subcontracted to, and wouldn't be willing to work with the NHS. Having started a conversation with the lead doctor and nurse at Rolls-Royce, they were very willing for us to do workplace assessments on their NHS patients, but having come to visit the department, it also became clear that we would be able to offer them additional assessments using the Primus. It takes an element of guesswork out of things. It allows us to be much more precise in how we assess and how we treat, and in the information that we're able to give managers, to give to occupational health, and to give to the person themselves. I think to date there's been 542 contacts in just over a year. So the challenges around that are how to approach them, what you're able to offer, the impact it might have on your capacity to then treat NHS patients. The barriers are getting the price right in the first place. So I know that we've made in excess of £30,000 so far. I can directly link over £10,000 of that to using the Primus. But I think the barriers are definitely then having the staff to be able to provide the service and having the confidence to sell a service. I think that we're very used to negotiating internally within the NHS, but then working with businesses and showing that you're going to save them money in the long run by spending that. And ultimately, Rolls-Royce want people to get back to work, to stay in their jobs. That's their ultimate aim, and that's what we're trying to achieve. They are happy for as much objective data as we can provide. They've also used, we have used, I say, the Primus to do functional capacity when they're looking at redeploying people as well and understanding what their functional capacity actually is. What we'd like to do, what I've discussed with them, is looking at what we call their hotspot areas, so places where they have high levels of musculoskeletal absence from work, and understanding what it is about the job that's difficult. We've even talked about planning for elective procedures, so if we know that somebody, for instance, is going to be taking time out of work to have a knee replacement or something similar, how we can understand what their job demands are and how we can reduce the time that they're off work for or plan for it more carefully.